Hello, I'm Evan Mitchell, Music Director of the Kingston Symphony Orchestra, and for the week of December the 1st, here's What's On. Now, I am personally finding it hard to come to terms with the fact that it is December already, but the signs are all around us, of course. It's getting darker earlier, it's certainly getting a lot colder, and you hear Christmas music absolutely everywhere you go. But from all of us at the Kingston Symphony, we are here to offer you a bit of an alternative to perhaps the early December blues. We are going to be putting on a wonderful concert on Sunday, December the 7th at 2:30 in the afternoon at the Grand Theater, one show only, and this is an afternoon at the opera, and it's featuring some truly magnificent young singers. They're spectacular artists. They're going to be a very, very big deal as their careers unfold, all three of them. And of course, this show also features your Kingston Symphony Orchestra. So this will be an absolutely enchanting afternoon in which we explore some of the greatest moments in opera, great arias, duets, and trios, and of course some features for your Kingston Symphony Orchestra, a little bit of ballet music from a couple of operas, an overture here or there. It's going to be an amazing afternoon. And I just want to take a moment and tell you a little bit about our three singers. We have soprano Lucia Cesaroni, and we also have tenor Andrew Hadji, and local boy Jeff Surrett, our baritone. And these are three magnificent singers who are all on their road to superstardom in the opera world, and we're so pleased to have them as our featured guest artists for this concert. So we're going to be performing some of the very greatest repertoire that has ever graced the opera stage. We'll be performing selections of such operatic geniuses as Mozart and Puccini and Verdi. Some of these pieces are extremely well known, some of these pieces are a little bit off of the beaten path. It's all magnificent music, and it's going to be sung again by three brilliant singers and performed by your Kingston Symphony Orchestra. So to whet your appetite for this magnificent afternoon at the opera, I wanted to play you a couple of samples of the pieces which we are going to be performing. The first of which, believe it or not, is actually a selection of ballet music that was pulled from Massenet's opera Le Cid. Now, in their heyday, French operas were notorious for including ballet music, long stretches of dance music where there was no singing, an elaborate dance number. It was all performed by the dancers and the orchestra. It was an instrumental sequence of music. And instead of opening this concert with a famous opera overture, as one would expect we would do, instead we are opening with this magnificent ballet music from Le Cid. And you might be asking yourself, who is Massenet? And what is this Le Cid opera all about? I've never heard of either the composer or the opera. Well, Jules Massenet is actually one of the greatest operatic composers ever, in my humble opinion. He was a magnificent French composer who did the bulk of his output in the late 19th century, early 20th century. He was a master orchestrator, a brilliant melodist, and he really understood the drama of opera. Some of his operas are actually performed quite often in the standard repertoire, for example, his opera Werther and his opera Manon. But Le Cid, while it is not one of the more popular of Massenet's opera on the standardized opera stage scene, the ballet music from this opera is absolutely magnificent, and so there's a distinctly Spanish flavor, as one would imagine, and that's going to open up our concert. I'm going to play for you this magnificent Aragonese theme from the ballet music from Massenet's Le Cid. Next up, I'm going to play for you one of the greatest arias ever composed. It's sheer brilliance. This is the Portrait aria from Mozart's epic opera, The Magic Flute. And this is going to be sung by Andrew Hadji, who is such a magnificent tenor. I'm really looking forward to working with him, and you are not going to believe how beautiful a singer this man is. So in the plot at this point, Tamino has resolved to go and rescue Pamina, who is a princess who has been abducted. He has just seen a portrait of this lovely young lady, and he has instantly fallen in love with her and has decided to become a hero, chase after these villains, and free Pamina from the evil clutches of the bad guys. This is an aria which showcases Mozart's genius in a perfect fashion. It shows how Mozart was at the very height of his compositional powers, and it is a timeless, immortal aria. In my opinion, one of the very best pieces in the tenor repertoire. Here is the Portrait aria from The Magic Flute. So, for this week, that's What's On. If you'd like to learn more about this program or any of the other concerts the Kingston Symphony performs, then browse to kingstonsymphony.on.ca. Purchasing tickets couldn't be easier. You can give us a call at 613-546-9729 and speak with one of our wonderful patron service representatives, or you can buy tickets online at kingstonsymphony.on.ca. Thanks for listening to What's On, and I'll see you at the concert.